we come together as a school and as a nation to pay tribute to the men and women who have donned the fabric of our country in her service. Today we recognize those who have served in both peace and in war, dating back to the Revolution and through the ongoing operations around the world that see men and women willingly serve to protect us at this very moment. Today we remember the words of so many from our history who praise our military men and women, such as our 40th President Ronald Reagan, who noted that above all, we must realize that no arsenal or weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. Those words still ring true today. We still stand on the front line of freedom, and we celebrate the defense of our republic. Today, though, we celebrate people. We honor men and women who have served and sacrificed for us. The Department of Veterans Affairs has estimated that over the last 245 years, approximately 57 million men and women have served in our military. They have served in war and in peace. They served during the Revolution when our freedom was won. They served in the Cherokee American Wars and the Northwest Indian War. They fought in Shays' Rebellion and in the Whiskey Rebellion. They served in the Quasi War and the war against the Barbary Pirates. They served in Tecumseh's War and our second revolution, the War of 1812. They served in various Indian wars and in the Mexican-American War. They served in our Civil War when our nation tore itself apart, pitting brother against brother. They served in the Spanish-American War and in the Boxer Rebellion. They served in World War I in France and in Flanders Field and at Jutland. And they answered the call again in Europe and throughout the deserts of Africa and the islands and oceans of the Pacific and in the skies above during World War II. They defended, they served, and they stood the watch during the Cold War in the air, on land, and in the high seas. They fought in Korea, in the rice paddies of Vietnam, and on the Gulf of Tonkin. They served in Grenada, Libya, and in restoring freedom and sovereignty to Kuwait. They served in Bosnia, Panama, Haiti, and Kosovo. They were serving in the halls of the Pentagon on that crisp, clear Tuesday morning on September 11th, 2001. And they continue to serve. They continue to stand the watch in Afghanistan, Iraq, Somalia, Cuba, the Horn of Africa, in the airs of the world and around the seven seas. For over 240 years, they have embodied the words of Elmer Davis, a war reporter who served during the Second World War, who said, "This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave." Or as the Scottish poet Thomas Campbell mused, "The patriot's blood is the seed of freedom's tree." We at Oakdale Academy are called the Patriots. We know here the respect owed and the sacrifice given by so many, even in our own families and even in our own midst. With that, it is my high honor to call the names of our honored guests here present. Justin Velasquez, United States Air Force. Daryl Tonks, United States Army. Sergeant Major Augustine Ortez, United States Marine Corps. Mr. Clement Langlois, United States Air Force. Mr. Gerald Doucette, United States Army. Mr. Bill Podjakowski, United States Navy. Mr. Darwin Daniel, United States Air Force. Mr. Lindell Holm, United States Marine Corps. Mr. Joe Cavacity, United States Navy. Mr. Gary Allison, United States Marine Corps. Mr. Francis Way, United States Army. Mr. Wayne Hodges, United States Army. Mr. Ken Steyer, United States Army. And Mr. Ronald Techstone, United States Air Force. And in the event that I neglected anyone, if I missed anyone's name, ladies and gentlemen, these are the men and women who have stood the line for over 240 years. We owe them our thanks.
We are a nation under God, and I believe that God intended for us to be free. We must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenals of the world is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. The price for this freedom at times has been high, but we have never been unwilling to pay that price. Those who say that we're living in a time where there are no heroes, they just don't know where to look. The sloping hills of Arlington National Cemetery, with its row upon row of simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David. Their lives ended in places called Bella Wood, the Argonne, Omaha Beach, Salerno, and halfway around the world on Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Pork Chop Hill, the Chosin Reservoir, and in 100 rice paddies and jungles of a place called Vietnam. They add up to only a tiny fraction of the price that has been paid for our freedom.
student who sat in the back corner of the room, hoping I would not be called on in class, and hoping that whatever words I was trying to form into a right answer would make myself sound smart. However, I am not this person anymore. I'm not afraid to say how I really feel or express my concerns to the world. I learned that my greatest weapon is not power or popularity, but that my greatest weapon is my voice, and I want my voice to be heard. As an American, I value this right, the First Amendment, which gives me and everyone the liberty to speak our mind. As an American, I enjoy this liberty. What makes America great? As I think about this question, my first reaction is to consider what our founding fathers' vision was for America. What were the ideas and ideals that drove our founding fathers to take up arms and establish a new kind of government, one formed by reflection and choice, rather than by accident and force, as Alexander Hamilton once said. America is great because we have the liberty that no other country has. She is a shining example of light, and together we influence the world. America was centered on 3 revolutionary ideas: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, out of which the most powerful was liberty. But what does liberty actually mean? Liberty is a state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed on authority on one way of life, behavior, or political views. When I think of liberty, I see the Statue of Liberty proudly standing in New York Harbor, offering liberty to all her citizens. As Emma Lazarus beautifully describes, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. The wretched refuse your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. I am a first-generation American. I was fortunate enough to be born on American soil, whereas both of my parents were born elsewhere. How would you feel if you were earnestly looking for a safe haven from destruction and terror? This is not a question to ask Americans, because we are privileged beyond compare to experience this incredible peace. America is a shining city of light to all the people who are searching for a home, as Ronald Reagan pointed out. A tall, proud city built on rocks, stronger than oceans, windswept, God-blessed, and teeming with people of all kinds living in harmony and peace. Following Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush had a similar vision in speaking after the 9/11 tragedy. We are the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world, and no one will keep that light from shining. This idea of home, safety, and liberty is not a reality in many parts of the world. In fact, it is out of reach and only a figment of imagination for most. America is the land of the free and the home of the brave, and we are fortunate beyond compare to experience this incredible peace. I have seen Americans consciously or unconsciously trade in their liberty for various reasons. Today, the true enemy of liberty is within. Americans are more caught up with fitting in with the masses, or having the pressure of living up to people's expectations that they would voluntarily give up their liberty to be with the masses. Would you really be willing to surrender your most precious right, your most powerful weapon, to let other people's opinions be louder than yours? You have a right as an American citizen to have liberty. It is a privilege and should not be taken for granted. America is powerful. We influence the world, and we are strong. But we cannot be strong or great without having liberty. We hold so preciously unto one truth. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. With those words, Thomas Jefferson envisioned a bright future for America, a future where this country would thrive due to the liberty given to each citizen. I am speaking not only to politicians, not only to every adult in our country, but especially to my generation. We are the next generation, and we lay the foundation for many to come. I'm going to challenge you. What legacy do you want to leave? And how are you going to use your liberty to impact the greatness of America?